critical analysis, Russia's warning to Starmer, and the UK's stance. In a context of growing geopolitical tensions, the statements made by UK opposition leader Keir Starmer have prompted an unexpected response from Moscow. In a tense exchange, Ivany Popov, a member of Vladimir Putin's party, directly attacked Starmer, issuing a clear threat regarding the future of UK-Russia relations. This incident takes place amid great uncertainty, with a war in Ukraine exacerbating tensions between major powers. But what does this confrontation mean for British foreign policy? And what can we learn from Russia's words?
We don't want to be at war forever. We didn't want this war. You should understand our main goal is security guarantees for Russian people. NATO infrastructure is going closer and closer to our borders, and Ukraine is a direct threat to our security, and you can do nothing with Russia. You should understand it. You don't powerful enough to impact on my people's life. You can do nothing with Russia. You should negotiate with Russia. But now, Mr. Starmer, Mr. Macron, threatening to my country by nuke. Why? We will kill you all if you will try to bomb us by nuclear bombing, a nuclear weapon.
Let's break it down. Amid the ongoing war in Ukraine, which has torn Europe apart, Russia, through its representatives, has made it clear that it is not willing to yield. Popov's statements emphasize Russia's narrative as a defender of its territory, arguing that its actions are not aggressive but reactive to NATO's threats. According to Moscow, its primary goal is security guarantees against what it sees as an encroaching Western military presence. In this line, Popov pointed out that NATO's expansion is a direct threat to Russian security, suggesting that the invasion of Ukraine is a defensive measure, not an act of aggression. Popov also defended Russia's military actions by claiming that these attacks are not aimed at Ukraine's civilian infrastructure, but rather its military infrastructure, particularly that used for weapon production. However, the number of civilian casualties and the destruction of entire Ukrainian cities tell a completely different story. Images of bombed cities and the rising death toll contradict Moscow's official narrative. It's crucial to question the logic behind these statements. If Russia is truly seeking peace, why continue to attack civilian populations and critical infrastructure in Ukraine? This is a key point that cannot be overlooked in analysing the situation. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who has maintained a firm stance in support of Ukraine, has become a direct target of Russian criticism. During the interview, Popov not only accused Starmer of being a threat to Russia, but also responded aggressively to both Starmer's and Emmanuel Macron's warnings regarding the use of nuclear weapons. In a defiant tone, Popov threatened nuclear retaliation if the UK insists on sending troops or weapons to Ukraine. According to his words, British troops would be legitimate targets for Russian missiles, underscoring the escalating danger of the situation. This threat highlights not only the bilateral tension, but also the risks of a further escalation.
You talked about threats, you've just threatened to kill us all.
Have you heard Macron's address to the nation 2 days ago?
A nuclear defense umbrella, it's about deterrence.
He told the world that Russia is a threat and we should defeat Russia.
Nobody in Europe wants a single centimetre squared of Russian territory. You know, this whole situation is such a tragedy. Tragedy for your country, your economy is on its knees.
I'm agree with you. Look at your food inflation for last month.
Well, look at your food inflation. Your interest rates are at 21%. Your war economy is running out of steam.
And what? We are at war. We are at war. And of course, we have some problems with economy, but you can do nothing with that. And we will fix it. You know that Russian people live pretty good. And our economy is recovering. Your sanctions is nothing. Nobody feel it here.
Well, hang on a minute. President Trump has just today, as you will know, said he's considering large-scale further banking sanctions and tariffs if Russia doesn't agree to a peace deal.
And what it looks like, it sounds like a mockery, because you already put all sanctions you could. And we live under sanctions for decades. We have our own credit card system. We have a stable ruble. We have enough food. We have enough money in the hand of our population. Of course, we have some problems in our economy, but it's not so big as you want. And but again, we are ready to talk. We are ready to negotiate peace. But you should guarantee us security. That's it. You should not threat to us by your nuke, by your armies, by your tanks. It's easy.
Okay. The British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said he's willing to put British troops in Ukraine as peacekeepers after any deal.
It's unacceptable. British troops will be direct target for our missiles. You will get coffins in return. That's it.
Is Donald Trump considered by you a friend of Russia?
Of course not. Of course not. How can be how he can be a friend if he is tanks right now on a battlefield and killing my people?
But Donald Trump is somebody whom your president can do business with, evidently.
We're gonna do business with anybody who wants to get business with us. It's our position. We didn't refuse to talk for last years, and we were ready to talk with anybody.
Mr. Popov, thanks very much for joining us from Moscow. Much appreciated. Thank you.